There was once a young man whose life seemed defined by hardship. His family struggled to make ends meet, and opportunities were scarce. At a young age, he experienced rejection after rejection, each one chipping away at his confidence. People doubted him, labeled him as someone who wouldn't amount to much, and every door he knocked on seemed to close before he even had the chance to step inside. It would have been easy for him to give up, to accept that his circumstances were immovable and that his dreams were out of reach. But something within him refused to let go of the possibility that things could get better. That something was hope. Hope is a spark, a quiet but persistent voice that tells you things can change, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. For this young man, hope became the foundation upon which he built his life. Instead of succumbing to despair, he used each setback as a stepping stone. He learned from every failure and rejection, adjusting his approach and growing stronger with every challenge he faced. What made the difference for him wasn't that life became easier or that obstacles disappeared. It was that he refused to lose sight of the belief that his efforts could eventually lead to success. This belief wasn't just wishful thinking. It was deeply rooted in action. Each day he reminded himself that no matter how bleak the present seemed, the future was still unwritten. He took small, consistent steps even when progress felt slow. There were days when the path forward seemed impossible to navigate, but he held on to the idea that perseverance would eventually pay off. And as time went on, the fruits of his hope and effort began to emerge. Doors that were once closed began to open. Opportunities he could only dream of started to materialize. What had once seemed impossible became his reality, all because he never allowed hopelessness to take over. This young man's story serves as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. It shows us that even in the face of adversity, we have the capacity to rise above our circumstances. Hope is what drives that capacity. It fuels resilience and gives us the strength to keep going no matter how hard life gets. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending they don't exist. Instead, it's about choosing to believe that there is a way forward, even when the road ahead looks unclear. Through his journey, this young man proved something essential. Hope is not just for the lucky or the privileged. It's a resource that we all possess, one that can grow stronger with use. Every time we choose to believe in a better tomorrow and take steps toward it, we strengthen our ability to face life's challenges. Hope is not just a feeling, it's a choice we make every day, and it has the power to change everything. Resilience is a quality that defines the difference between those who fall and stay down and those who rise again. It's the ability to keep going when the odds are stacked against you, to keep moving forward despite the weight of challenges and setbacks. But what fuels this resilience? What makes it possible to continue when everything within you tells you to give up? The answer, quite simply, is hope. When we are faced with adversity, hope is the force that pushes us to get back up, try again, and continue moving forward. It's the quiet conviction that no matter how difficult the present moment is, there is something better waiting on the other side. And hope doesn't deny the reality of hardship. Rather, it encourages us to believe that our efforts can and will lead to a better future. It provides the energy to keep going even when we can't see the results of our hard work immediately. Without hope, we become stagnant. We lose the drive to move forward, to overcome the challenges that life throws our way. In moments of doubt, hope acts as the anchor that keeps us grounded. It gives us the strength to take the next step, to continue on the journey even when the path seems uncertain. In the face of failure, hope reminds us that setbacks are not the end, but simply a part of the process. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine our approach. When we hope, we're choosing to see failure not as defeat, but as a stepping stone. Think about a time when you faced a difficult situation in your life. Perhaps it was a personal loss, a professional failure, or a time when everything seemed to be going wrong. In those moments, it was your hope that kept you from giving up. It was the belief that things could and would get better that gave you the strength to press on. In many ways, hope is the key ingredient that separates those who crumble under pressure from those who find the strength to endure. This ability to remain resilient in the face of adversity is not something that comes easily to everyone. It takes practice, and it requires a conscious decision to embrace hope even when it feels distant. But the more we exercise this muscle, the stronger it becomes. The more we choose hope over despair, the more we develop the resilience necessary to handle life's challenges. Hope allows us to look beyond our present circumstances and imagine a future where things are better. It encourages us to keep taking action, even when that action feels small or insignificant. Resilience is not about ignoring the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about accepting the difficulty of the journey while holding on to the belief that things can improve. Our hope is the fuel that propels us forward, and it's this forward momentum that builds resilience. In difficult times, it's easy to forget that resilience doesn't mean never falling down. It means always getting back up. Hope reminds us that we are capable of bouncing back from even the most challenging situations. It helps us see the bigger picture, the possibility for growth, and the strength we carry within us to face the next obstacle that comes our way. Hope, in its purest form, is the very thing that enables us to keep going no matter what life throws at us. In the face of challenges, it's easy to get caught up in the negative, to focus on the things that seem impossible or beyond our control. We may start to feel overwhelmed, as though the weight of the world is on our shoulders. Yet, in these very moments, one of the most powerful things we can do is shift our mindset. Rather than dwelling on obstacles, we can choose to focus on the opportunities they bring. This is where hope plays a pivotal role. It encourages us to reframe our thinking, to see the potential for growth, even in the most difficult situations. When we begin to look at challenges as opportunities, we take the first step toward transformation. Hope does not ignore reality. It simply encourages us to believe that we have the capacity to change our circumstances through the way we respond. When we shift our mindset, we start to see problems not as roadblocks, but as puzzles waiting to be solved. Every challenge is a chance to learn something new, to become stronger, to develop a skill or a quality that will serve us in the future. Hope enables us to reframe failure not as the end of the road, but as a valuable lesson that moves us closer to our goals. This shift in thinking can be difficult, especially when the road ahead seems uncertain. But it is in those moments of doubt that hope becomes a powerful ally. It's the belief that the current difficulty will eventually lead to growth, even if we cannot yet see how. By focusing on what we can control, the choices we make, and the actions we take, we begin to feel empowered instead of defeated. Hope turns our attention toward what is possible rather than what feels impossible. It reminds us that we are not defined by our challenges, but by how we choose to face them. Reframing challenges also means understanding that life's difficulties are not permanent. Even the toughest situations have a beginning, middle, and end. Hope teaches us that no matter how hard things may be right now, they won't last forever. The future is always in motion, and we have the power to shape it through our mindset and actions. When we look at challenges through the lens of hope, we recognize that they are temporary. This awareness gives us the strength to keep moving forward, knowing that a better tomorrow is within reach if we continue to press on. The power of reframing extends beyond simply surviving hardship. It can also transform how we approach everyday life. When we face even the smallest of obstacles with the mindset that they are opportunities for growth, we begin to see the world differently. We start to see challenges not as threats, but as chances to prove our resilience, our resourcefulness, and our ability to adapt. It helps us realize that we are capable of handling more than we think, and that every difficulty is a chance to prove our strength. At the heart of this mindset shift is a fundamental belief in our ability to overcome. When we adopt the mindset that challenges are opportunities, we stop viewing ourselves as victims of circumstance and start seeing ourselves as active participants in our own success. This shift enables us to take full ownership of our lives and our futures, knowing that we are not helpless in the face of adversity. Instead, we are equipped with the tools of hope and resilience, both of which help us shape our destinies with every choice we make. There are times in life when the journey feels long and the destination seems distant. In these moments, it can be easy to lose sight of why we started in the first place. The obstacles that appear along the way can cloud our vision, and we may begin to question whether the effort is worth it. Yet, when we hold on to hope, something remarkable happens. We begin to see the future not as an uncertain, distant place, but as a vision, something real, tangible, and achievable. Hope allows us to create that vision, to hold it close, and to keep our eyes on it even when the path to it seems unclear. Hope is not just about waiting for things to improve. It's about actively imagining a better tomorrow and allowing that vision to guide us forward. When we are hopeful, we have a reason to keep going. We know that there is something worth striving for. Whether it's a dream job, a better relationship, or personal growth, hope gives us the clarity and focus to work toward our goals. Without hope, we might drift aimlessly, unsure of where we are going or how we will get there. But with hope, we are driven by purpose. And that purpose propels us through the toughest of times. The future we envision is not just a far-off dream, but a blueprint for the actions we take today. Hope allows us to break down big, seemingly impossible goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the distance between where we are and where we want to be, we focus on what we can do right now. It's about taking one step at a time, knowing that each small action is moving us closer to the life we've imagined. When hope fuels our vision, the journey becomes a series of achievable milestones rather than an insurmountable challenge. Creating a vision for the future also involves aligning our actions with our deepest desires. Hope asks us to reflect on what truly matters to us, to get clear on the things that bring us joy, fulfillment, purpose. It's easy to lose sight of these things in the hustle of daily life, but hope reminds us to reconnect with our true selves. It encourages us to ask ourselves what we really want. and it urges us to take steps toward that future, no matter how small those steps may seem. Hope is the thread that ties our present actions to our future desires, and it helps us maintain focus on the bigger picture even when distractions arise. In addition to giving us direction, hope also helps us build resilience. When things don't go as planned or when we face setbacks, our vision of the future acts as a powerful reminder of why we're doing the work in the first place. Hope strengthens our resolve, allowing us to bounce back from failure and keep moving forward. It gives us the courage to persist, even when the road is difficult and when progress feels slow. Hope is not just a passive feeling, it's an active force that drives us to keep going, to keep pushing toward the future we believe is possible. The vision we hold for our future doesn't have to be perfect, nor does it need to be set in stone. It's an evolving process that may change as we grow and learn. But as long as we have hope, we will continue to adjust and adapt, knowing that the possibilities for our lives are limitless. Hope helps us stay open to new opportunities, to recalibrate when necessary, and to remain focused on the potential for something greater just ahead. With hope, the future becomes a place of promise, not fear, and it inspires us to take bold steps toward it each and every day. Hope is not a passive emotion. It's not simply about wishing for a better future and waiting for it to arrive. Hope demands action. It requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, to face uncertainty, and to take deliberate steps toward our dreams, even when the path seems unclear. It's easy to believe that hope is about sitting back and letting life unfold, but in reality, hope is a powerful force that fuels our willingness to act. When we pair hope with action, we move from passive wishing to proactive doing. It's this combination that turns dreams into reality. Every journey, no matter how ambitious, begins with a single step. Taking that first step is often the hardest part, as it requires us to step into the unknown. But hope compels us to move forward, to trust that our efforts will make a difference, even if we can't see the full picture right away. Each action we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. Hope helps us maintain the courage to take those steps, even in the face of uncertainty. It gives us the belief that the small actions we take today will eventually lead to the outcomes we desire. This is where the power of consistency comes into play. Hope is not about making grand gestures once in a while. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that the cumulative effect of our actions will eventually pay off. It's the small, consistent steps that build momentum and lead to lasting change. With each action, we reinforce our hope, strengthening our belief that we are capable of achieving the things we set out to do. The key is not to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions, but to act with what we have in the here and now. And hope isn't about waiting for the right time. It's about making the time right through the choices we make. Hope and action work hand in hand to create momentum. Often, the initial stages of any endeavor are filled with doubt and uncertainty. There are times when we might question whether our efforts are truly making a difference. But it's in these moments that hope shines brightest. It reminds us that we are on the right path, even if the results aren't immediately visible. When we take action, we gain feedback, we learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. The process of taking action helps us refine our approach and get closer to our goals. Without action, hope is just a dream. But when hope drives us to take action, it becomes the fuel that propels us toward our future. Another important aspect of pairing hope with action is the ability to adjust as we go. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we imagine it will, and sometimes our plans need to change. Hope provides the flexibility to adapt and keep going, even when things don't go according to plan. Rather than feeling discouraged by setbacks, hope encourages us to see them as opportunities to grow, learn, and make course corrections. Action allows us to course correct when necessary, ensuring that we're always moving closer to the life we desire. Hope, when combined with deliberate action, becomes a powerful force that transforms the impossible into the possible. It requires courage, persistence, and a willingness to keep going despite challenges. The future we envision doesn't arrive by chance. It's shaped by the actions we take today. The hope empowers us to take those actions, knowing that every step brings us closer to our dreams, no matter how far off they may seem. By pairing hope with action, we move from simply wishing for a better future to actively creating it. Throughout life, we all face moments when the weight of our challenges seems unbearable, when it feels as though everything is against us. These moments can leave us feeling small and insignificant, as if the world is simply too large and too powerful to overcome. However, it is precisely in these moments that we must cling to one simple truth: never lose hope. Hope is the foundation upon which we build our resilience, and when we hold on to hope, we unlock a power within ourselves that allows us to persevere, adapt, and rise above any adversity. The beauty of hope is that it doesn't require perfection. It doesn't demand that we have everything figured out or that we know exactly what will happen next. Hope simply asks us to believe that there is more to life than what we see in front of us in this very moment. It's the understanding that no matter how bleak the present may be, there is a brighter future waiting for us if we refuse to give up. Hope is the thread that connects us to the possibility of a better tomorrow. It's what drives us forward, even when the road is rough and uncertain. When we lose hope, we lose the will to keep going. Hope is what keeps us moving forward, even when progress seems slow or non-existent. It pushes us to get up every day, to continue working toward our goals, and to trust that our efforts will eventually bear fruit. Life doesn't always unfold the way we planned, but it's through our unwavering belief in the possibility of a better future that we find the strength to continue. Hope allows us to keep our vision alive, even in the face of setbacks, and to trust that no matter how difficult the journey may be, it will eventually lead us to where we need to go. In those moments when we feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, it is hope that keeps us anchored. It's not about denying the struggles we face or pretending that everything will always be easy. It's about holding on to the belief that we are capable of overcoming whatever challenges life throws our way. Hope reminds us that our story is not defined by our setbacks, but by how we rise from them. It gives us the courage to face diversity head on, knowing that each obstacle is simply a step in our growth. When we hold on to hope, we begin to see the world differently. We realize that we are not helpless in the face of life's challenges, but instead we have the power to change our circumstances. Hope allows us to focus on what we can control, to let go of the things that are beyond our reach, and to take intentional steps toward the life we want. It helps us understand that every small action we take, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, is a building block that brings us closer to the future we envision. In the end, hope is not just about waiting for something to change. It's about being an active participant in our own transformation. It's about choosing to believe that the best is yet to come, even when the world around us seems dark. Hope doesn't promise an easy journey, but it does promise that if we keep moving forward, we will eventually find our way. So no matter what challenges you face, never lose hope. Keep believing in the possibility of a better tomorrow, and trust that with hope, anything is possible.